What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some very unfortunate Giannis Antetokounmpo news, especially if you guys are a Milwaukee Bucks fan. But if you guys are a Miami Heat fan, then I definitely feel like you guys are going to be very excited about this news. Honestly, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. You know what, I actually probably do like this, but what is pretty much been going around recently is there are a lot of journalists coming out right now and analysts, etc., that are believing that Giannis Antetokounmpo will definitely be requesting a trade in the off-season and will most likely be requesting that trade to the Miami Heat. The first one by Jay Williams, which is the one that a lot of people have seen, is Jay Williams says Giannis will be in a Miami Heat jersey next year. For sure, really. And then there are potentially a couple other ones here and there as well. Here's one. According to Vincent Goodwill of Yahoo Sports, there are many within the NBA bubble who see the Miami Heat as one of the most likely destinations if Giannis does request a trade, and he will most likely potentially, of course, request a trade to that team, again, if he was to go on and request one. Now, I think this is very interesting. Again, there are even more journalists and analysts, out here saying this. And again, I'm sure you guys have probably seen this, especially if you guys are a Miami Heat fan or the Milwaukee Bucks fan. This has probably been all over your news feed with a different journalist every single minute talking about how they believe Giannis will request a trade to the Miami Heat. I think this is a very good move for the Heat, obviously, and this would definitely put them in contention to be the best team in the NBA. They will be on the verge of building a very good super team that, again, would most likely take over the NBA. But if you guys are a Bucks fan, I wouldn't be worrying as much as what the NBA has kind of perceived, Bucks fans should be, worrying right now. It does look like even if Giannis does request a trade, there is a very high chance that the Milwaukee Bucks will be trying to keep on to Giannis Antetokounmpo and having one more year at the run with it. I mean, yes, you could get like 4 first-round picks and a couple of really nice young players out of the Miami Heat, but honestly, with a player like Giannis, who's a generational talent, he is literally gonna most likely be back-to-back MVP, even if he does get beaten by the Miami Heat. He still most likely will be, going through that type of stage. Not just that, he's going to be very hard to try and trade for, and I just can't really see the Milwaukee Bucks going about it and doing it easily. Yes, obviously, the Miami Heat do have a lot of assets, but they have a lot of assets that I think the Heat will want that the Miami Heat are definitely not going to be trading. For example, Bam Adebayo, who I definitely feel like the Bucks are going to be really trying to heavily pursue. Let's just be honest here. I definitely don't believe the Miami Heat will be looking to trade Bam Adebayo. I think that'd be a ridiculous decision by them. And again, there has been people saying that they could, but look, let's face the facts here. It's most likely never going to happen, and there's no reason for the Heat to do that at all. Yes, the Bucks will be highly pushing for Bam, but if Giannis requests a trade, a lot of times when players request a trade, their values do drop a tiny bit, which means teams can't really, get as much in return. So I definitely feel like Bam will be off, the price again. They're not going to want to trade Bam. He is an all-star and has had a terrific season. He's going to be an untouchable alongside Jimmy Butler. But the thing that the Milwaukee Bucks could do is definitely go out and try and get a couple of really nice young players from the Miami Heat. For example, Tyler Hero will be one of them. Duncan Robinson will definitely be another. Kendrick Nunn will be another one. And they'll be wanting to get at least 4 first-round picks. Maybe even more realistically. They could actually go for more. I mean, AD, I believe, was about 3 or 4 first-round picks with a lot of, couple of really nice young players. They actually might be wanting to, get like 4 to 5 first-round picks for Giannis. Could even, literally be that much or more. And obviously a couple of young players. Again, he is most likely going to be the back-to-back MVP, and they do have him signed for another year with a very big and high chance that they could go out and get another player like Chris Paul and maybe still contend as another year for the championship. I definitely feel like the Bucks could really want that rather than all the stuff that they're, could be getting right now anyway. But Of course, there is still a couple of options. The Bucks, again, could just refuse to trade him and go and contend for another season. I don't know if I really like that move at all, because right now they could get 5 first-round picks or so and a couple of really nice players from the Heat, and that would set their franchise up for literally the next couple of years, even if they might be bad while doing so. While also, they do have that other option of maybe even waiting out the year and doing a sign and trade. The Heat are going to want to keep all their assets, and if they were to do a sign and trade, I definitely feel like that could actually get done, and the Milwaukee Bucks could still get some very valuable stuff. For example, a couple of first-round picks, and maybe a couple of young players here and there. Look, they're obviously not going to get as much for a sign and trade, because if it's a sign and trade, again, it is still a lot of Giannis's choice, and Giannis could still pretty much go to like a different team and literally give the Milwaukee Bucks nothing. So honestly, they will probably take what they could get in a sign and trade. And I definitely feel like that could be a couple of firsts and, you know, potentially another young player here and there. Of course, sign and trades have always been like this. You look at the Jimmy Butler and Josh Richardson trade. Butler is obviously so much better than Richardson, but because it was a sign and trade, they, you know, didn't get nearly as much as what they should have. While if it was a normal trade, it probably would have been Richardson, maybe another player, and a couple of first-round picks for Jimmy Butler. But obviously, it wasn't a normal trade, and they ended up, you know, getting that deal done for relatively cheap. So yes, the Bucks could still have that on their option, or they could flat out just say, nope, we're keeping him for another season. We don't care if he leaves in free agency, as long as we get to contend for another season. And honestly, I believe that could be the option that the Milwaukee Bucks potentially do decide to go on. Even if Giannis does request a trade, there is still no guarantees they will trade him. But honestly, I still feel like there is a massive chance. It does reportedly seem like, you know, Giannis will be very interested in the Miami Heat. I just feel like this could also ruin his legacy and reputation. Like, you know, look at KD. He couldn't beat the Golden State Warriors. He ended up leaving to actually join them and actually get a couple of rings. If the, you know, Miami Heat beat Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks, they're already going to the conference finals and would have a huge chance to make it to the finals. This could literally mean, let's just say they do make the finals, then this would be the exact same case as Kevin Durant. He left his team to go to the team that he couldn't beat, that lost in the finals. Giannis could potentially leave his team to the team that he couldn't beat, that also could, you know, potentially lose the finals, or even could win it and not just even make it. There are a lot of opportunities and possibilities right now for the Miami Heat. I mean, the season's still very open, and no one really knows who's going to be making the finals or who's going to be winning it. So again, I do feel like Giannis would get a decent amount of hate, but the Miami Heat aren't as good as what the Golden State Warriors were at that time period, and there's no guarantees that Giannis, Butler, and Adebayo and all those role players could potentially win a championship. But of course, I think it'd be pretty safe to assume that they would most likely be the favorites. Like, that team would be absolutely lethal defensively. So again, that would be pretty interesting to see. But anyway, to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA news and NBA content. But also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channels. Links for them will all be in the description down below. And definitely don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for that will also be in the description down below. But as I was saying, I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Do you guys think Giannis will request a trade to the Heat? Do you guys think he'll just go to the Heat maybe in the next free agency? Again, I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions. So make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.